One of the ways we make money in our business, which is fire alarm and security, is actually sending out bids against drawings that we receive from our clients. A lot of times these drawings could be approved by the fire department. Most times it's not approved by the fire department. I have to hire my engineer so that way he can go over the drawings, maybe submit it to the fire department, things like that. So in this video, I'm going to show you the process, what I do when I receive these bids, how I put my price together, what these devices are, and why they put these devices in these particular places. So follow me. So when I first get a set of drawings, I'm looking to see if it's approved by the fire department. You'll usually see some fire department information right here, some comments and stuff like that. The engineer's seal will be right here. But this particular job, we're actually filing. So I want to go through real quick how I put my prices together when I receive plans like this from other vendors. I'm also go through what each page is so that way I could explain why the engineer put these devices where they put them and how we come up with our prices. So for the first page is usually like our cover page. This right here would be our input output matrix. This will determine how the system operates. It'll say when a manual pull station go off, make sure you actuate the common alarm, sound the alarm system, send the signal out to central station, different things like that. This right here is your fire alarm system notes. It's to give you details about the type of system you have to put in, what you're putting in, and the rules and regulations that apply to fire alarm systems. Here on this side would be your equipment legend, and on this side would be your site plan. The engineer will have his seal here. This would be the engineer's information, site address, and what number the fire alarm drawings is. So when they design a fire alarm system, especially if it has multiple floors, there's certain specifications that the engineer has to go by. But this one here, we're working inside of a school, and we have to do a lot of CO detections inside this school. But for the basement itself, actually, this is the second floor. So on the second floor, we just have to put in a few devices. So how I would calculate this, I will actually have this in electronic form, and I will upload all of these documents into my estimating software called Esticom. And what I will do is use my mouse and click over these particular devices. See, like these are the same devices. These are smoke CO detectors. The engineer is instructing the installer to install a combination smoke detector, CO detector in these two storage rooms, same as in his office, same as in his classroom, same as in his storage. So pretty much this whole perimeter would be covered with smoke detector and CO detection. So how I would come up with my prices, each one of these particular devices, like this right here is a horn strobe. This right here would be a smoke CO detector. This is another horn strobe. So I would put together the quantities for all these devices, get my count, tally my count up, put the labor cost to it, send my price in. Usually the labor cost, especially in New York City, will come from the electrician. So when I do receive drawings like this, I immediately send it to my electrician so he could give me the install price, because from point to point, he's going to have to run pipe. He's going to have to run the cable to each one of these particular points, so that way I can install all of these devices, then program them into the system. So here we have the first floor. On the first floor, we have a few more devices. Some more horn strobes, some more smoke COs. That SC says smoke CO, and if you could look closer, let's get a visual. That SB means it needs a sounder base. So if you have a smoke detector / carbon monoxide detector, you also need a sounder base. Let's get back in focus. Here we have more horn strobes. This little F right here means it's a manual pull station. More horn strobes. So I will gather up all of these quantities of devices throughout the whole entire building, put my price against each particular device, and that's how I usually come up with my pricing. So this is a one-line diagram. This gives you a complete layout of the entire system. No matter how many floors, you will have a one-line diagram for the fire alarm system. And if it's a big system, they wouldn't list all of the devices. They would just have some type of indication that there's more after. So on this riser diagram, it's telling us that the main panel should have a DAC. These are all of the input devices. The right side will be the input. The left side would be the output devices. So these are all my input devices that need to be installed on the basement level. All of these devices here. And on the first floor level, all of these devices here. And on the second or mezzanine floor, these devices here, and these are my outputs. This triangle with the ST is just a strobe. So this would be a strobe only, just a flashing light. This H would be a horn strobe. So we'll have a combination horn and strobe. So when you hear the alarm go off, you will sometimes hear like a 10-pole 3 or continuous sound. You'll hear some type of noise, and you also have flashing lights associated with that. This is just telling me all the horn strobes that need to go on every particular floor. This right here is my fuse disconnect switch. This is the main power that serves the fire alarm panel. So coming in from the building when the main comes in, this fire alarm panel is tapped at the main source, at the main electrical panel, and then it supplies power to the fire alarm control panel. This DACT is your DAC. This is an internal DAC, or it could be an external DAC, but this is where the phone lines would connect to. So if any one of these devices go into alarm or activate, this DAC will then pick up and say that this basement waiting area smoke detector just went into alarm. So when the fire department get here, they know to go to the basement waiting area instead of, you know, somewhere up on the first floor, somewhere up on the mezzanine. They go straight to where the source is at. So that is pretty much it. This is what fire alarm drawings look like. So usually, like I said, when I'm putting my price together, I add up all of these particular devices. I add them all up because each one have a particular, like a smoke detector could be, you know, $50. A pull station could be $65. So if I got 10 that I have to put in, that's 65 times 10 plus whatever the markup is for that particular part. And you just keep doing that. Whatever your labor is, you add that on. If you have programming labor, you add that on. If there's going to be some type of inspections you have to call because you have to hire an expediter, you add that on. So you have to know what you have to do in order for you to actually bid yourself out correctly. And I don't do competitive pricing. I just send my prices. I know exactly what it's going to cost me to take it. And if they accept it, they accept it. If they don't, they don't. So if you have any questions on any of these particular drawings on pricing or how you could structure your pricing for your business, let me know in the comments. Follow for more.